The most common treatment mistakes for vertigo. I'm going to give you some things to think about at the end of this video. So if you want to hang on right to the end, I'll try and give you some things to help you navigate this for yourself. I feel a little bit emotional on this topic because I did spend years working in a hospital system, seeing people with vertigo literally stuck, suffering, debilitated, severely feeling broken. And the system was essentially just referring them and handballing these people from doctor to doctor and test to test and therapist to therapist, and they weren't getting anywhere. So there were some treatment issues happening. And it, quite frankly, that's why I do what I do. I wanted to unpack the system and go, where are we going wrong? Vertigo is not really a cookie cutter situation. You can't just go take this pill, do this exercise, and bam. Maybe sometimes it works, but often it doesn't. And I think that's one of the most common treatment mistakes is people try and get generalist options. So I would say make sure you speak to a vestibular expert. If you have vertigo, I would be careful where you get your information from and be mindful of generalists or um, people who might be osteopaths, chiropractors, general doctors, general surgeons, just general lists. Speak to someone who has formal training in the vestibular system. The most common forms of vertigo can sometimes be treated very quickly and very simply if you have a specialist identify exactly which part of the ear is affected. If it's BPPV, benign paroxysmal positional vertigo, we can generally identify where the vertigo is stemming from. It's an architectural issue, and we can do these very gentle bedside maneuvers to return the otoconia calcium carbonate particles back to where they belong. That's the most common form of vertigo and probably the most common treatment mistake because people present with this relatively simple issue, but if you're talking to a generalist, they can say, oh, your neck's tight, or oh, it's this. And it's just completely not targeting the actual cause. So I would say be really mindful of researching and speaking with a vestibular specialist. And at the very bare minimum, they should understand benign paroxysmal positional vertigo or BPPV intimately. I have a BPPV video kit which people can test and treat themselves at home, wherever they are in the world, because it can be really hard to find a vestibular specialist. The other reason I made the BPPV video kit is because it is the most commonly occurring. It's the most simple to treat, so we should treat it as soon as we can. And some people I noticed were avoiding going on holidays and sort of avoiding their life because they were afraid that BPPV would come back and they wanted to be close to their therapist because they were paranoid about BPPV. So part of overcoming it is understanding how to test and treat it yourself at home, wherever you are. And then there is no longer any fear, no longer any anxiety, and you literally get your life back. So I'm going to say that's my second point. The most common treatment mistake for vertigo is people giving their power away. Rather than saying, okay, I'm going to learn about this, I'm going to understand what it means for my body and how I can resolve it and how I can be in control of my experience. Rather than taking responsibility and fully educating themselves, they give their power away and talk to generalists, and they end up getting all this bogus information that doesn't help them move forwards. In fact, it can really result in depletion, hopelessness, powerlessness, and further victimization. So, where possible, get as much information as you can about your body. Speak to vestibular specialists. Try and understand what is going on for you, for your inner ears, for your brain, for your whole body. And understand that vestibular specialists don't take your symptoms away for you. When people come to ask for support with their diagnosis and support for understanding their body, it's still our role to explain we can't remove your symptoms. It's part of your relationship to your body to retrain your balance pathways, to boost your proprioception, your vestibular system, and your visual system to work together to optimize your balance. What that means is our eyes, ears, and our touch and feel sensory systems are learning how to build new neural maps that cultivate strong balance. That happens by how you use your body in daily life. So the way you are walking, taking staircases, bending, gardening, cooking, natural head movements, natural arm movements. This is not a cookie cutter situation. We can't just give everybody the same exercises and expect the same results. Another common treatment mistake with vertigo is people completely overlook emotions. A huge part of recovering vertigo is emotional stability. If we are feeling afraid, if we are feeling anxious, if we are catastrophizing, if we are dissociating, the vertigo is likely to be exacerbated and further reinforced. So part of overcoming vertigo, dizziness, any imbalance, is first and foremost coming back into emotional grounding and stability. That's why I love to encourage all of my community members to use the body scan. When we body scan, we come back into our felt sense in our body. And this dramatically helps to stabilize emotions. We can't just robotically go through prescriptive exercises from a physiotherapist and expect results if we're literally freaking out and anxious. If we're worried about our vertigo sensations, in other words, our body is triggering anxiety. So what I feel in my body triggers anxiety. If I'm afraid of what I feel, I am caught in a trauma loop. I cannot use neuroplasticity to build new neural pathways from anxiety. So we have to understand the importance of emotional regulation. Coming home into yourself is the most incredible gift, and it's a skill that we use in daily life. Because once you do overcome your vertigo, and I hope you do, because it's not something we should live with, it's reversible. Once we overcome dizziness and vertigo, many of my clients continue to use their Rocksteady program because life is stressful. People get sick, jobs are lost, financial worries, wars, politics. There's a lot of anxiety. But because they have their Rocksteady tools, their Rocksteady program, they understand how to stabilize their emotions, emotionally regulate themselves, and come back to grounded, solid, clear thinking. So this process is actually much, much more than just dizziness and vertigo. So you've been listening right to the end. I want to encourage you to do a body scan. If you don't have access or understanding of what I mean sensing and feeling and observing and noticing your sensation, right? You can start in your skin, head to toe. Notice what you feel. Feel the clothing, feel your hair, feel the chair, the floor, the furniture. Feel where you are in space and time. This is your proprioception. You're learning how to re-engage and re-inhabit your body from a more sensual sense. So I want you to start thinking about your senses: touch, taste, sound, visuals. What have I missed? Touch, taste, visual, sound. I'm missing one. We've got our proprioception, our balance, our interoception, smell. I think I missed smell. The body scan helps you re-engage all of those 8 senses. Visit seekingbalance.com.au to learn more about the body scan, to get a very simple introduction to it, and you can meet people in our vertigo and tinnitus community. The most common treatment mistakes for vertigo, in summary, is giving your power away and expecting somebody else to do the healing for you. Get accurate diagnostic support from vestibular specialists, and then learn how you can rebuild new neural pathways for yourself. That process is about coming back into your body, re-engaging your sensuality so that your brain and body can actually reorganize the balance pathways. The sensuality piece helps us move out of those trauma cycles when we shut down and stop feeling. When we shut down and stop feeling, fight, flight, freeze, fawn, we actually stop building new neural maps. However, when we literally sense and feel our body in ways that evokes pleasure, enjoyment, and safety, then we get new neural pathways building. So it's a really important part of the process, is coming back into the body. Visit seekingbalance.com.au to learn more. And so bye for now.